Good evening and welcome to the Bendigo Mayor's Office. It is now 6:09 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. We call this meeting to order. Today is October 8, 2025. We are here at the Bendigo Senior Citizen Center. It is now 6:09 p.m. Sorry about that. This is the Bendigo Municipal Planning Council regular meeting. In compliance with the open government law, this meeting was published on the Bombay Post on October 1st, 2025 and October 6, 2025. It was also published on the Gagawang portal. Additionally, this meeting is being recorded and streamed live on our Bendigo Mayor's Office YouTube page. Before we proceed, I'm going to go with the roll call. We have AC Joseph Lon, Cruz. Here. Nick Dorito. Here. Archie Dad, absent. Robert Polino, absent. Edgar Gaza. Here. Sam Obina, absent. Carissa Pangilinan is absent. Nadine Cepeda is absent. Hilario Manalo, absent. Okay, we have, I'm here, Mayor Peter J. Benavente, along with Vice Mayor Ann, as well as our staff, Charlene Valencia, Ambria Santos, and Lani Ferrer and Trudy Blas. We do not have a quorum, so anything here going forward is just for discussion. So moving along on the agenda, we're gonna go straight into because we do have some land consultants here for some land hearings. So the first one we're gonna go straight into old business, the summary zone change application number SZC 2025-31 for lot 10111-11-4-R1 zone change from A agricultural to R2 multi-family dwelling zone in order to construct a 6-unit apartment. Applicant Top Builders LLC, represented by Mr. Ronald Azuzu. Mr. Azuzu? You have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Ronald Azuzu. I'm here. I am the consultant for Top Builder, Burton and Agay, in going to Wistic Road. We are trying to see if we can do a rezoning from R2 zoning to R2. So Top Builder wants to construct a 6-unit apartment. So like I say that we did submit all the documents through land management, planning division, and then it comes to Bendigo Mayor's Office to do the public hearing. So just recently I did send out the letters to all the landowners instead of the renters. So I just recently did that and I forwarded to the Bendigo Mayor's Office. Also that shows that I did mail it out. So I am here to see and ask you guys if your support on Top Builder's request to build on the vacant lot to construct a 6-unit apartment, and also Top Builder will willing to bring in the sewer. Without that, he cannot go through the process if he doesn't bring in the sewer. So that has to be also done for the 6-unit apartment. So thank you so much. I know we did this in the past 2 public hearings, so I think the thing is there that about reaching out to the landowners. So we did research, get all of their current lot numbers, the mailing address, and we sent it all out within the 500 radius. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Azuzi. We have several residents that are in
Leading. Oh, so.
Sorry, guys. We actually do have a board now, so we're gonna have to stop meeting and restart it again so that we can establish. Now that the quorum has been established through our another member of ours, we're gonna have to just restart the whole thing again. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Good evening again. I'd like to recognize the presence of our MPC member, Nadine Sabeda. Now we do have a quorum. Okay, so we can proceed on now with back to item A on old business. It is now 6:16 p.m. and Mr. Azuzu, please, once again, sorry about that. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Like I say, that I am representing, my name is Mr. Walter D'Souza, I represent the top user. We do have a lot at Taladadai, from horticultural zoning to requesting to R2 to construct a 6-unit apartment. So the latest that we had the public hearing on the past meeting was also to reach out to the landowners, and that's what we did. We get the updated mailing address and submit mail out a letter to them to let them know within the 500 radius that top builders are requesting to rezone the property from R2 to R2. But top builder is willing to bring in the sewer line, so he'll comply with the requirement for going through the process of permit, because that area doesn't have sewer line in that street. So like I said, from the past, my client is willing to bring it in, and he wants to see if we can rezone it to R2 so he can build 6-unit apartment. Thank you, Mayor.
Members, do you have any questions for Mr. Azuzu regarding this? Well, we don't have any questions for the members. We do have some family members that stay within the Chalanada area, so we will allow them to speak. You have 3 minutes. Mr. Babalta?
Ben Babalta, I own property right across the street from this proposed development. If you drive through any neighborhood in the States, you'll be hard to find find a hotel right in the middle of an established neighborhood. It's usually located on the outskirts of the neighborhood or leading into. It's evident that this 6-unit apartment is being built for income purposes, a business. To me, you should kick it out to where the business establishments are on the main road, or even leading in, but not right smack in the middle of 15, 20 houses that are already going up. We have a road that leads in to that area. It's not a legal size road. In fact, you've got to pull over to the side to let cars pass or go off-roading into someone's yard. You mentioned bringing in sewer lines. I just invested $15,000 on a new sewer septic system. My land fell short of the required half acre. Will I be required to, this is just a rhetorical question, will I be required, now that the sewer line is in, to tap into that sewer line? I'm sure the rest of the infrastructure questions have been asked, but that's just my view. This unit is being, and what is the limit on building if you do rezone? Who's to say that this 6-unit apartment, and we see it every day on Guam, turn into 18-unit, 20-unit? Before you know it, you have a 36-unit motel. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, I'm Tom Dabata. So this is my brother. It was our land that was split in half. So he has almost half an acre, and then I have the other half acre. So I built on one side and he's building on the other. So we have a handful of brand new homes in the area. So it's a nice small little subdivision, but I'm worried that 6 units, 3-bedroom is going to overwhelm the road. It's a quiet road there. You know, people use it to walk and exercise. I think it's just going to be a little bit overwhelming. And because it's quiet, I'm really worried about in the future, you know, with that means approximately 30 people that are going to come in, plus their visitors. So that's mainly what we're looking at, right? Just keeping our neighborhood quiet, keeping it simple, keeping it, you know, homes. I wouldn't be opposed to it if they said they're going to split it and do like 4 homes, because homeowners have a different kind of take on things than, you know, people who rent in the apartment. Only because over time in a year or 2 or 3, I think, you know, things can kind of go downhill, and then, but that's kind of why we're here. We're here to just try to maintain our road as a small, quiet, you know, community road, and that's pretty much it. Anybody else want to? So I just want to make sure that we distinguish that, you know, it's 2 separate, and we're directly across the property, so we'll be the ones most affected, I think, because, you know, it'll be coming in. So are any of you here for the decision? No? Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Doug. Any questions for Mr. Balsas or Mr. Azusa? Okay, so moving on to new business. We got 4 items to discuss on the new business, but before we proceed any further as far as new business is concerned, item A and item C, the land consultant Unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances, he is not able to make it, so we gotta table this until the next, meeting. Okay, so we'll move on to, that, and that's for item A and item C, okay, because it's the same land consultant, Mr. Frank Roberto, he's not able to make it tonight. So we're gonna move on to, item B. This is a GLUC zone change application 2025-29. The applicant Cortec Development LLC, represented by TG Engineering PC, is requesting for a zone change from a split zone of R2M1 multi-dwelling light industrial to a full M1 light industrial zone for the proposed installation and operation of a photovoltaic, solar, and battery system energy storage facility on lot 10184-6 in the municipality of Glendale. This application, we just had the 2 public hearings earlier at 5 and 5:30. Representing TG Engineering, TG Engineers is Mr. Marvin Aguilar. Marvin?
So, housekeeping, sir, do you want me to go through the
Yes.
Actually got pretty good at it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. As the mayor had mentioned that this project was presented earlier, this is a request to rezone lot 10184-6 from a split zone of M1 to R2 to a full M1 zone. The purpose of this application is to allow the installation and operation of a PV/BESS solar facility. It's going to be accommodated in a multi-parcel photovoltaic solar platform. And most importantly, it is being presented before the representatives of Glendale and their municipality to try to meet public law 35-46, which is to meet a 100% dependency on alternative energies by the year 2045, approximately about 19 years from now. This property is located in the heart of Bukuru. To the west, you can see Tangisan. This is what down to Tangisan Beach. This is the wastewater facility 2 facility. This is the primary. It's been in operation for over 60 years. This is the port facility. You can see the barracks right here and their support facility as well. And this entire lot right here encompasses lot 10184-6. We have a super warehouse that's accessed through the road from, I'm calling FAA, I think FAA is another road. For conversation sake, this would be FAA Road, which leads to the intersection, the line intersection that services Bukuru High School. And way down here or down here is the road taking you to Lover's Point. So this is the general area where this lot is located. This is the subdivision map that was approved by the government law, showing the basic lot. Again, it comes up this way on this road, especially on these 2 lots here, encompassing the wastewater treatment facility, and then back up again. The split zone occurs somewhere along this line. It's not really defined. They don't give you means and bounds of where it's actually located, but this gives you a general idea of where the split occurs somewhere around here, near the three-way intersection taking you down to Thank This portion of the property is R2, multifamily, and the portion in green is M1. For many properties surrounding this area right here is M1. This is M1. This is hotel resort, but we did not include the map that shows the additional wastewater treatment facility here, which is now rezoned to PF, or public facility, and then the lot adjacent to it, which we can show you in the later slide, that was rezoned to M1 likewise to accommodate this endeavor. As I mentioned, the subject lot contains R2 designation. It's essentially surrounded by light and heavy industrial activities. The heavy industrial would be the wastewater treatment facility. And it contains approximately a total 58.7 acres within lot 101.846. The M1 portion of lot 101.846 wraps around the north, south, and east boundary of the northern wastewater treatment facility. Here's a general layout of where we want to put our photovoltaic panels. You see it's a large portion of the overall operation. In the aqua blue or baby blue color, we're utilizing these areas. And we'll proceed down here as well, here, and up here on the lot 101.88. Again, this property was rezoned M1. This is M1, 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 M1 zone. The treatment facility is actually heavy M2 zone. I also mentioned earlier that it's a multi-parcel program. It's containing all these lots at this point, at this time right now. It's going to total about a little under 460,000 square meters, or approximately 113 acres. The land uses within this property is going to remain is the Portland International Barracks, its equipment laying yard, super warehouse, and adjacent open storage areas. And as I mentioned, in order for us to prove the viability and possibility of rezoning, kind of take a positive response on this, is to be able to address public safety, public necessity, convenience, and general welfare. And with that, we presented 4 caveats that expresses this intent. Essentially, it's to meet the goals and objectives of Public Law 3546. Having the property dependent 100% on being used 100% for PV layout, for photovoltaic layout, would allow it to, I think I skipped I'm sorry, let me get back here. The current R2 portion is incompatible with the surrounding land uses, which means, as I mentioned earlier, this portion, which is R2, is not compatible with this lot. This lot was rezoned to M1 as well. And this lot, and portion of this lot as well. It's incompatible. R2 is for multifamily, as mentioned earlier by the other consultant. It's R2. So imagine the land use when you have these activities occurring, and the potential of different light industrial or heavy industrial activities occurring, and you actually develop the property for multifamily use. Moving on, likewise, if that portion of the property is to remain R2, it contains 58, almost 59 acres. With that amount of land, by allowable density, given sewers available, they can build 2,764 apartment units. in that portion of lot 101. Ultimately, this endeavor, it essentially promotes and enhances the quality of life by reducing our dependency on fossil fuel generated energy, power, and as a result of that, it promotes environmental stewardship. With that, I open up the floor to questions.
Any questions for Mr. Aguilar?
Earlier, I asked a question about who will it benefit, and when that thing was, if it were to be improved and it were to go in service, where would it initially give power to the Cortez area?
No. Good question, sir. So this cream spot, so this is the general layout of how we want to, it's changing a little bit, trying to find other areas to add more photovoltaic panels, more power we can absorb. All that power is actually brought to the BESS system, the battery energy storage facility. This is the powerhouse. This power was a power stored here. It's put into a transmission line and it's sent out into the grid. Okay. Now, that grid is owned and operated by our famous Guam Power Authority, and through a power purchase agreement. And I apologize I didn't mention this earlier. Guam GPA will be purchasing that property. We're going to have a little metering program, which I can't fully explain, and it goes into the system. That's how they take that savings and pass it on to their customers. So, to answer your question, no, it's not to make them have power. It's to service the community.
And it just all absorbs into that one building,
Yes.
that hub?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And all the batteries and everything's contained in that battery
It's
itself?
all facility, the guy in front of the monitor, making
Yes.
sure everything's working right. Yeah. Crew that goes out, you have to keep it clean all the time to get 100% absorption. And so,
That's very close proximity to that well that you had mentioned earlier that is supported, that is solely dedicated for content.
that's what I understand. Well, let me put it differently. The only facility that's allowed to use it right now is Cortez. Nobody else can use it. Because there's an issue, I wish somebody from Waterworks is here. There's a possibility of pumping too much, that you might have some water intrusion. So they're trying to keep that balance. And likewise, that it has the capacity to only support this regimen. This, I think, right here, they get there's a housing facility here, and I think they get their water from Route 3.
So that well doesn't feed into Lover's Point?
I don't know, honestly. What I do know is that it is an operation and it supports more time. It could be out there, but they don't use too much water as well. This facility is only going to be manned by about maybe 10 to 12 people at the most. You can have a toilet. Heating facility. Everything else is going to be unmanned for the most part.
So I have a question. If it's going to be, we have some kind of agreement with GPA, it's going to be the customers. So not to get into like blocks, because it's not for content. How many people can that service if that's going to be tapped into G, and they're going to go to the big customers? So my question would be, how many people would actually benefit from that?
Well, this is not the only facility that's being built.
Right.
We have, I don't know that number. It's a lot.
Okay.
But it's a combination of all. It's how much energy of power is being sent to GPA. GPA has a number, basically saying we need X amount of kilowatt hours,
Right.
to come into our system. And so they have, I think, 4 different operators out there. We have a company that's in Iran. We have one being built that's built in Manila. We have one in Nalahan, and we you see them. And you know, just one, 4, and in a lot. And there's more to come. Again, they're trying to meet that objective. Now, when we say alternative energy, it's not necessarily just solar.
Right.
I mean, you've got windmills,
I was just gonna say that, right?
but nobody wants windmills.
It doesn't work.
It works, but it's loud, and it's high maintenance. Because it's space, it's moving parts.
Makes sense, my brother-in-law was
They don't
alternative energy. Mine, and he does, he's an engineer, but my question would be, what's the savings? So you don't,
The
like,
savings?
it's not.
I know that answer.
Okay, what's the
I think
savings?
I think it ranges between 14 and 25 or 24 cents per kilowatt hours. Well, I mean,
It's
again.
reasonable, because that adds
It's
up,
reasonable,
is what I'm
yes,
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
But when you, and again, when you get to the year 2045, I mean, you know, a viable island community wouldn't be paying for power because it would be readily available when we have these different solar and other alternative sources. In theory, that's what's supposed to happen.
And that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
Because,
thank
you know,
you.
I can't speak for the island, which I think is great, but representing them, you know, we kind of want to see how in the best interest for our residents.
Right.
And that's what to me, that's my interest, is how does this help our Deadwood residents?
What we benefit off of it.
Correct. And that, again, I just mean very clear, that's our role, because I think it's great as an island, but I need to, I would like to know, that's why I'm talking about, how many, you know, how does this help, like, you know, the rate payers, and then you said 14, 21. Any savings will help, is what I'm saying. But, yeah, let's put that into perspective.
At a number of 45 to 50,000 residents on this island.
In just Deadwood.
In Deadwood.
Yes.
So that's what I want to get.
Yeah, this would, and of course, you know, you've seen in the news, there've been other factors that other companies trying to build more facilities. And maybe they're looking at that demographics, right? They're looking at 45 to 50,000. I cannot guarantee that this is going to support all residents or all homes, but it contributes to it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at savings, and that's something we just, okay, that's, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any more questions for Mr. Aguilar? Before we move any further, as staying on this application, we just have a representative from GWA, Ms. Bobby. She's just gonna go ahead and read through her statement as far as GWA is concerned regarding it.
You know, when you hear it 3 times, it's a lot more clear.
I think so.
Update.
Yes, I can write that. You can just use my please. Yes.
My name is Bobby Cruz, and this is Jacob Miller, and we are from Guam Waterworks. And we're just going to give our testimony to the zone change for application number 2025-29. As the adjacent landowner, the Guam Waterworks Authority cannot endorse or support Cortex zone change application for the reasons stated below. 1, disputed property ownership. GWA does not acknowledge or accept the property ownership documentation as submitted. Lot 10184-6, listed as being owned by Cortex, is the subject of an active lawsuit in the Guam Superior Court in CB 1198-18. Government of Guam, Michael J. Borja, in his official capacity as Director of Land Management, and the Guam Waterworks Authority, using Cortex International Corporation and Unit Enterprises Corporation. This case filed and initiated by the Government of Guam Department of Land Management challenges the validity of certificates of titles that were erroneously issued and concern the lots included in Cortex application number 2025-29. As a co-plaintiff in the suit, GWA has also petitioned the Superior Court to quiet title in a portion of lot 10184-6 and in lot 10184-7. Number 2, discrepancy in survey maps and boundaries. GWA disputes the needs and bounds described in the survey maps submitted for lot 10184-7, which Cortec claims to own. These boundaries as presented do not align with the government of Guam and GWA land records. Attached for GLUC's records as attachment A is instrument number 312262, which is a general purpose lease executed between the United States and the government of Guam for the initial construction, installation, maintenance, operation, repair, and replacement of a wastewater treatment plant. Attachment A attaches a map as Exhibit A that specifically identifies parcel 3 and 4 on an Austin Smith and Associates Inc. drawing and specifically identifies said parcels, boundaries, and bearings, distance, and coordinates. The map at Exhibit A is for lots 10193 and 10194, formerly parcels 3 and 4, and includes lots 10184-7 and a portion of lot 10184-6, where a portion GWA's Northern District wastewater treatment plant sits today. A 2017 land registration survey map of lot 10193 and 10194 included as attachment B, redrawn to show these precise boundaries in lots 10184-6 and lot 10184-7 is also attached. To the extent that all other maps, radius maps, location maps, etc., reflect the erroneous boundaries, GWA disputes the validity of such maps for the purposes of the subject application. Consequently, any other maps derived from or based on Cortex survey maps, including radius maps and location maps, should be considered invalid for the purposes of this application until the ongoing litigation before the Superior Court of Guam mentioned under item number 1 above is fully adjudicated. Number 3, protection of existing GWA infrastructure and easements. The subject lots also contain active sewer and water infrastructure, including a 42-inch sewer main within an existing sewer line easement and a 16-inch water main without a reserved easement. Cortec must ensure that GWA's access to all existing utility lines are maintained, and that no construction impedes further or future access, and that appropriate utility easements are established as required. All coordination related to infrastructure impacts, modifications, or utility relocations must be done in coordination with GWA and must be at the developer's expense. For the foregoing reasons, and chiefly for the reasons stated regarding the dispute of Cortex ownership, GWA cannot consent to or support Cortex application while the matter regarding the disputed property ownership remains unresolved before the Guam Superior Court. Given that we are currently in litigation, we respectfully request that all inquiries be submitted in writing, either via email or delivered to GWA. We will respond accordingly. Thank you.
On the matter with GWA as far as the land issue is concerned, so we cannot discuss that as far as the land issue is concerned. It's still in the matter between Cortec and GWA. We can go ahead and vote when we come back to whether we approve it or not.
So, Mayor, I have a question. Because it's under litigation, do we have, I mean, to me, even if we vote, how will we forward if it's under litigation? So I'm gonna ask, do we have a legal counsel to guide us if we do vote? I mean, how will that impact if it's to order or it is at this point? So perhaps, don't we need some guidance?
Definitely.
I mean, I would say caution myself. I'm not a lawyer. I don't think anyone is a lawyer here, and I would like legal guidance.
So I asked that question earlier. During the public hearing. I think that we should be the last to have the say in it until all of those issues have been addressed.
Marv, I know you had a comment earlier on that regarding the land issue. What was the findings on that? I mean, if you could elaborate a little bit on that, please.
Sorry, we have to repeat. Just sorry. Yeah.
Oh, no. This is a good point. And as the mayor mentioned, we ourselves, as we're representing for this, the client, Cortec, for this zone change. What we do know is that we do have an approved map. And what's being litigated at at this point is whether that map is valid or not. So that's essentially what it is.
Okay.
With respect to that, and the water easements that they have, this project is being designed to avoid, in fact, coordinating with BWA to some extent of where the easement is and how we can work around these easements. So we're not doing panels and all. But getting back to number one, this was not the only property that we came before the Land Use Commission to get rezoned. As I mentioned, the other lots, we have 10188, 10184-6, in this case, 10184-2 and -3. This is that last portion of the property. We had to wait a while for them to make a decision to allow us to proceed with this process. Now, with respect to your actions, again, it's about rezoning the property, whoever may own it. Right now, there is a dispute of ownership, but the government of Guam recognizes that ownership at this point until it's litigated in court. The map still is sanctioned and approved and signed and recorded until it's changed otherwise. But it's all about land use. It's all about what good this property will do, what this action of rezoning it will do to the property, regardless of who the owner is at this point. So I think that's the reason why, and I'm not disclosed, I am not a lawyer, but just outside looking in, it's about the land use and not necessarily who is the land owner. And that's why we're here today. And respectfully to Waterworks and in the position, just like any other entity or a government or private, you can go to work. And until that's, but it shouldn't stop moving forward. Ergo, we had public hearings, we had the application that was accepted by the government of Guam, reviewed by the mandated agency, reviewed by the different agencies, Waterworks, GPA, State Historic Preservation Office, Department of Agriculture, Department of Public Works. They reviewed it as well for the potential effects of rezoning the property. Okay.
I think Mayor, I think you answered that question, and I just think I like to caution ourselves, because I think, like you said, it's not dispute, it's about the land, right? And the uses of the land. But to me, ultimately, it does come down to, when I think about it, it's the landowner. And so, again, anyone can sue, that is the due process. People can oppose, and that's the great part of democracy. But I'm just gonna say for me, thank you very much, you answered my question. If you vote, because I'm not gonna vote. Yeah, I'm gonna abstain. I personally don't feel comfortable, the Mayor, as much as we want to move forward and help I would warn this municipality council and as members of this board or council, is that we really need to caution ourselves, and I think we need a legal review and have some guidance on where we in regards to this. That would be my recommendation.
Duly noted. So, moving on. Thank you, Marvin, for that clarification. We want to go ahead and move on to review and approval. We're going to go back up to and for review and approval of minutes. Okay. For September 7th, from September 10th. You guys received that via email. Do you guys have time to go over it already? So we can make a motion to approve the minutes of September 10th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of September 10th.
Got a motion by AC, seconded by Lee. Financial report, you guys have a copy of the financial report there?
22.5 for the publishing, reimbursement.
Okay, so for the donation, I mean, on the deposits,
Yeah.
okay, so what it is, before we have the ads go out, right, we have certain, zone applications or whatever maybe, we go ahead and pay it first with our NAP, and then the NAP consultants come back and, reimburse that. Yes, that's how that is.
That's what we've been doing.
Yes, yes. And so we're trying to get it within our general fund budget that they give us money for our advertisements, because sometimes it can be pretty pricey. So motion by Nadine to approve the financial report for September,
Second.
second by Nick, all in favor? Okay, moving on, so we're gonna go back we'll come back to committee report because we wanna make sure we get on the board as far as old business is concerned, because I know Nikki have to be leaving pretty soon, correct? Okay, so as far as, back to old business, we heard Mr. Azuzu earlier, as far as the application for, SCZ 2025-31 for lot 10111-11-4-R1, zone from change A agricultural to R2 multifamily dwelling zone in order to construct a 6-unit apartment. Applicant was top builders. Like I said, we heard from Mr. Azuzu earlier, and likewise with the Babalto family. Any discussion on this?
So, just like we previously discussed with this, over the last several months with Mr. Juju, and then we also had members, from the area come in. We can vote, and I'm gonna vote no, I'm gonna vote against.
Wait, we make a motion.
Make a motion to vote against it,
Okay.
to not approve the rezoning, and more so in favor of the surrounding residents.
Any other, so Nikki make a motion
Making a motion
to not support,
to not support.
to not support application SCZ 2025-31.
I second.
Okay, Nadine second. Okay. All in favor for not approving for that application? Any comments? Aye. Okay, next item is gonna be for item B on the new business. We heard Mr. Aguilar, with his, presentation earlier. So any, discussion on this?
I'm gonna make a motion, so the motion would be to get the girl review and get us some guidance to move forward and we can vote on it. That's my motion.
Anybody second?
I second the motion. I would not like to be part of any litigation in the future. And we voted to cancel.
Can I just add to that?
Sure.
I'm in agreement with the DMPC. I think one of the biggest issues that I see that could easily happen is if we vote in favor or against it, and something comes back that there is issues with the property. I don't know how that process goes from there. I don't know if we can, if it's null and void or if it's still proceed. So I would like to also refrain from voting at this time until the litigation process is completed.
So abstain.
So my motion is to have a legal review. This discussion is to hold off until litigation is.
Once that dust is settled back there with their issues, then I feel that that's when we have that opportunity to vote, because currently we can't.
The only problem is the motion that I made is different from your, what you're
I
asking.
second your motion.
Yeah,
So Nadine's motion was to,
I have a legal review
Legal
before we
review.
move forward. That's all the
Before we-
motion, I second the motion.
okay, and AC seconded that.
You don't need that.
So on Nadine's measure, are we all in favor to legal review?
So we're not gonna vote on it until we get legal guidance.
Okay, and so until we get some type of,
Legal guidance.
because we don't want to be in jeopardy of,
As this goes through the litigation, we want to get a legal review and opinion on what is the direction of our rights that we can do as members of this council. As it stands, it's in litigation, we want to avoid, because again, that's due process, that's why we have attorneys, and we can get guidance.
so. So on Nadine's motion to, Nadine made a motion to seek guidance as far as legal is concerned. And Nick second by AC. Okay, so on that motion, all in favor?
Aye.
So my next question here, sorry, would that be the AG to give us guidance, since they're, so I'm not quite sure with this whole argument with the AG and the governor, who would be our legal counsel that will ask for legal review? Sorry, I'm asking that question because there's a whole issue between the governor and the AG. And I'm saying I sit in the Allied Board of Health and the AG, but finally he's having somebody, so I just like some.
For guidance.
Yeah, guidance and clarity, like then who's our legal counsel for our municipality? Okay,
Well, I have to seek further guidance on that one as far as legal.
thank you, and that's what I'm, just for the record, I'm requesting, what is that? Who is the legal representative to the government?
All right, so moving on. We're gonna move on to our committee report. The 7:34 AMS, we haven't had anything from any of the on committee report, the United States Marine Corps. We just had a project done with them last month. They helped us kind of spruce up the front entrance, if you guys noticed that. And then also, as far as the Marine Corps is concerned, USMC Campus, they will be participating. I just got notice afternoon that they will be participating in our Halloween event that we will discuss, an item D in new business, and that's it for the Marine Corps. Another thing else, item C, sports. Right now, I think we do have the Benavente Middle School soccer, the boys, they are playing for the championship tonight. So I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll have Coach Sam inform us about that or keep us posted on that. Anything, sports, nobody? Okay, item D, Youth Congress. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our Youth Congress here. Mr. Austin Fortuno, our newly elected speaker for the Youth Congress and a resident of Delano. Likewise with Ms. Nicole Guerrero for representing. Thank you guys for being here tonight. And is there anything you want to report as far as the Youth Congress is concerned? But I want to just acknowledge and thank you guys for acknowledging the Mayor's Council of Guam and the mayors throughout the other villages and whatnot for, I believe, October 20th is going to be declared Mayor's Office recognition. Thank you for that. But if you would like to report on behalf of the U.S. Congress, you guys have the floor.
So we had our first session on September 20th. We passed 3 resolutions in total. Resolution 1 relative to electing new leadership and amending our standing rules. So all of the top leaderships of GYC is now actually village representatives. So Speaker is our very own Representative Fortuno. Vice Speaker is Representative Trevin Atoigui from Tutuha. Legislative Secretary is Representative Dan Pangilinan from Manila. Yes, and our floor leader is Representative Nathan Podge from Jigo. So they're all village representatives at the top of the leadership. And we also elected We also elected committee chairpersons for 2 of our committees, Judiciary and Justice, which is now chaired by myself, and the Committee on Health and Gender Affairs, which is chaired by UOG Representative Grace Handler Cruz. Second resolution was relative to urging the passage of Bill 1-38, which was introduced in the Guam legislature, relative to the Guam Cancer Trust Fund, and making sure that they get the proper appropriation for every fiscal year. And then lastly, Resolution 3, which Mayor Benavente has talked about, recognizes October 20th as Mayor's Office Recognition Day, and we will be presenting that resolution to all of the mayors this upcoming Monday, October 13th at 4 p.m. at the Guam Congress Building. All of the invites have been sent to the mayor, but we also look to extend an invitation as well to the municipality committee, as well as everybody in the community that would like to watch as our representatives present this resolution to the mayors. And then our upcoming session for this month will be on October 25th at 9 a.m. at the session hall and broadcasted at the Guam Legislature Building. And then Representative Fortuna will be talking more about special elections that we have coming up.
Yes, thank you. So there's quite a bit of turnover with the Youth Congress. As you see, we have a leadership transition that just took place over the last month. This month, October, the third Monday of October, the Youth Congress is actually holding special elections. We've had quite a number of seats being vacated by representatives that have graduated, for those representing the schools. And then we also did see quite some vacancies in the villages. Just for example, there are 17 total seats for public high schools. Only 4 are currently occupied right now because of the vacancy or the transitions of students graduating. In fact, the only high school right now that has a complete Youth Congress representation is one of our own here at Pukudu. So all 2 seats are occupied by 2 representatives. Going to the villages, there are actually 32 village representatives that can be elected in the Youth Congress. Only 15 of those are occupied. The only villages right now that have full representation is our village, Dededo, Manilao, Tamuning, Agit, and Malesu. So there's quite the opportunity for the youth. We're working ourselves to try to reach out to all the mayors, all the school principals, the university president, the GCC president, to try to facilitate elections. Thankfully, our village doesn't have to worry about that. All 3 representatives are here to stay till the very end. But we do encourage the public, anyone who can help share the message. Right, special elections are on Monday, October 20th, 2025. The common question is, if you're somebody young, 14 to 24, who wants to become a part of the Youth Congress, how do I do it? Best, easiest way to do it is reach out to your school principal to see if there's a vacancy in your school, and if not, reach out to your mayor to see if there's a vacancy in your village. If you're a Dededo resident, no need to ask because we're here right now. But yes, we hope you can share the word. I know some of our Dededo youth might be going to other schools, right, like JFK. Both seats at JFK are vacant. So if you're a Dededo resident who wants to be in the Youth Congress but can't represent Dededo because the seats are filled, JFK seats are actually available for that. And so if there's any questions, we're glad to entertain it. Our oversight chair, Senator Shelley Calvo, is the senator that is facilitating the administration of the Youth Congress. So for the mayors and the school principals, her office is the point of contact for that. But that's all I have to report from the Guam Youth Congress. Thank you.
All right, I didn't have a question, not a question, a comment. I just want to commend you. It's hard to take on leadership roles and trying to balance it as a student. It only gets harder when you go to college, but it definitely provides that time management. So kudos to taking on that leadership stuff. I wear another hat, and in that hat, I'm a district school psychologist for the Guam Department of Education, and I'm a big advocate for mental health. Because if people don't know the stats, it's 1 out of every 5 children are undiagnosed with mental health. So when you see people, do you think a lot of people want to be angry, want to get into fights? No, that's not okay. It's people think that's okay and it isn't. And it's because they're not identified. And I'm gonna really, some offside, I'm gonna ask really you guys' support. If you can look at Public Law 31-22, I've been trying to change that. I wrote a grant and I received $1.65 million and I have 5 staff. And if you look at that, that's really saying that we cannot screen students to, one, we get a consent and wait for 45 days. So if someone says, I want to commit suicide, myself or our school counselor can't do it until we get a consent and then wait 45 days. Our rates of suicide is high. And I'm not quite sure why this, and I've been advocating, why we cannot change that. And I'm going to say, I'm giving it to you and I challenge you as leaders. Really make this an effort. Because I know when Senator Regina Biscoe-Lee, it was a huge thing, a push to get as many staff trained as a youth mental health first aid. And we're building capacity. What I'm asking is I need your help because I really want to help students and I can, and we don't screen them. And it really can be your fight and advocacy coming from me to say this matters. Because I think everyone matters. And so this should be your fight with many other things, but how can somebody succeed if they're not well? I'm sorry, but I'm responding to suicide, loss, death, incarcerated parents. That's trauma. And I'm going to tell you, the last thing a student's going to want to do is come and learn math and core subjects when they're worried that there's going to be a roof over their head, when they have someone to take care of them. So I'm pleading with both of you. I hope that's something you guys can look at. I can share my contacts with you, and let's see if that's something that you guys are willing to take to make the changes. Thank you.
Any other questions for our Congress? Well, Nicole, Austin, thank you very much for representing our village, and thank you for informing us exactly what's going on down there. And we'll see you on Monday. Yes. Thank you, guys. Okay, moving on, item E on the committee report, the Vice Mayor.
Based on our last meeting in September, I had, in reference to the free market vendor fees, we'll finalize it in next month's meeting because due to the holidays coming up, we're looking at implementing in January, and prepare the free market vendors at least a couple of months to be aware of the changes, and it's not only that, but the more or less SOP on how to operate more effectively at the free market. That's one area. The other area is the buffer strip funds. We will be drafting, the mayor and I will be drafting a letter to submit to DOA as to why they still have the funds. It's supposed to be given to our NAF, and then we disperse it to GIGO. So we have 2 letters saying that, 2 laws. So we're going to submit copies of those 2 letters so they can see that it says Delano Special Revolving Fund. Okay, and the third one that I will bring up on next meeting is we're looking at for next year to have our very first Delano festival. So we're gonna, in November, we're gonna submit, a proposal of what we're looking at in terms of our festival. I'll be forwarding the packet to the members to review so we can discuss it in our November meeting.
So it's real quick. Yeah. So real quick on that, as far as what the Vice Mayor just mentioned, it's something that we thought about in the past already, as far as having an actual festival in the village of Leonardo, right, which is going to be, we thought about the Allegheny Festival, right? For one, we literally have a street here in the village named Allegheny Street, right? So that's still, there's a lot of planning, to, as far as that festivity is concerned. I always tease everybody that we do have a festivity every Saturday, Sunday at the flea market. So you can but on the real base, we really do want to have an Alligator festival. So we're looking at sometime in June. We got to make sure we have it around the time that the food is available. We can have a food festival or whatnot, not the food available.
Oh, at the same time, when we're working on the planning of what's have it, we're working with other villages to make sure that we don't cross over with their own event. That's courtesy. They've been having a festival for quite some time, so we want to make sure it's planned effectively. And our festival is not only that, but you know, that part we just have to time as to when we, and you know, there's this, the festival is really, we're gearing it to the fact that Bedrock is the largest multicultural, you know, village, so we're gearing it to that, to have all the different ethnics to come and be part of the festival, to show their culture, their history, their products, their food, anything that would showcase. It's like the one that they have in Ipa, but this will not be Pacific, it will be all the different ethnics that Dello residents
We're
live.
looking to dub it as the Alligator Multicultural Festival.
Nice. Yeah.
So, you know, planning a festival is a lot, right? So we gotta make sure we plan it right.
And we're gonna be outreaching to the various organizations to be a part of it. That's why we have to start it now, in November, we're gonna start outreaching, so they themselves can prepare. Excited, so that's about it.
Any questions for the vice? Yes. We only have, okay, we have just item B on trunk or treat. You guys see the, real quick, you guys see the, flyer on stuff, so that's gonna be on October 28th over at the flea market together with our Tuesday night food truck. Yes, and last year we had something similar, but this year I think it's gonna be a little more because, we opened up to the community for the first 20, participants as far as, the trunk or treat. Now we are gonna have a, decorating competition, so whoever decorates it, we'll decide, maybe you guys can be the judges too as well. We'll keep you informed as the day approaches. Okay, but anyways, yes, that's it. So members input real quick before Nick leaves. Nick, did you have anything to say?
No, just, thank you. Sorry I wasn't here last month, I was off island, but, I think, our goal tonight, especially we've been seeing this for the family coming out in the last several months. And that's time out of the day, so obviously it was a concern for them. Like I mentioned to, I'm all in favor of trying to better the community and expand it, but, not at the cost of the residents. And more so, like, that's what we are here for, is to represent those that are not present, and then those in the surrounding areas too. So, and when we get support like that from families that live in those particular areas, I think that's also how we should base our votes off of, and
How we should put.
yeah, and basically operate it. Because to me, that's they're the ones who have to live there day in, day out, and have to deal with that issue at hand. So,
The impact.
so us as representatives of the village too, I think, answering and speaking on their behalf goes a long way.
Thank
So
you.
that's all, thank you.
Yes.
And I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, Nadine?
Yeah, just, sorry, I too go and travel, but I also, it's my mom, so I'm sorry if I can't make it. It's really because I'm the primary caregiver for my mother, but if I can, I know you guys are pretty good at, again, the walkway, the lot of traffic in Fatima Street.
Yes.
And it's protruding, and I know this because people are walking on the road. And so, I know that's a DPW thing, I get called DPW, I'm not quite sure. It's just because people walk there, even at 1 o'clock in the morning, you can hear people, like, out loud. I've just seen where people and the kids, like, I know it's not DPW, like, the bus stop, there's like a high grass, and the kids are not even like in the bus, and it's been raining, bus stop. So I'm gonna be an advocate to, like, that's a main area of walking for many people, that should just be cleared up.
We will submit the request because we did last time. Because at the same time, that's also one way the fence, but it is also a parking basin, and they're supposed to be maintaining that. So we just gotta keep on getting to them too. It's a safety issue because it is bushy by the fence.
A lot of people walk, I mean, it's like intoxicated. We could avoid any, well, it's encouraging intoxication, but the reality is they do. And with the branches, they're walking in the streets, I see it when I'm walking my dog at 4 in the morning. So, you know, I'm just saying, it scares me. I just don't want to have that, accident happen.
It should be like that.
I agree.
Well, you know, like the Vice Mayor just mentioned that we will reach out to you. I mean, we try to work with DPW and the tag team on that kind of stuff. But the last time we reached out to DPW, we had brought it up, I think it was 2 months ago, they did come out and they cut it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So I would get, and then sometimes I've seen you in the past, so when I did, it's just great. I just think it's a mean.
It's a mean tool.
It is. People pass it all the time and walk to the mall. From old to young, and tourists who go up to the flea market and, yeah, I'm just saying it can be very dangerous.
That's it. Thank you, Nadine. We will address that. AC?
I just want to say thank you to AE, USMC, and whoever in the staff who helped take the front. In our school chat, people have been passing by, and I think you guys noticed the Danilo area with all the colored. So people driving from, we used to be in Jigo, now we gotta drive to Keke, are seeing the extra. So I just want you guys know that it's being noticed and it's making our village very beautiful. So thank you to everyone involved.
Yeah, so we do, thank God for our volunteers and our sister squadron companies that come through and help us when they can. So, just that particular main entrance there into Glacier Circle, we do plan on doing that at every other main entrance to the village.
Nice.
So as time permits, we will get to it. Okay. Anything else, Ace? Okay,
Just with that same intersection, the Fatima, just that left turn in front of right after the COVID, that left turn going to the village. You're really gonna call them, ask them about that, like. There's a lot of people
the
that
signal.
see, yeah, the only signal is
Not
like
for
right
Route
when you
1
guys
and
put
27.
your banner, and that's it. They kind of hard to see, You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right? The mobile and the flea market, or the farmer's market, yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, that's it. It is now announcements. Moving on to announcements. So December, I will have more discussion in November, but on December, we've been getting. I have a few constituents that run the Northern Youth Basketball League and also the Denville Yellow Jackets team and Coach Shania together with Coach Christian, and because our fiestas in December, they want to get a tournament together, a fiesta, basketball fiesta tournament. So I told them, I said, okay, you guys will do the format as far as the tournament is concerned. We'll know it as the Santa Barbara, inaugural Santa Barbara Fiesta basketball tournament. And I've spoken already to several interested sponsors, and it looks like it's going to be here, and it's going to be here at our court. Yes.
Nice.
So we'll keep you guys posted via chat. I just got to meet with them on Friday again to finalize some stuff, and then we'll go forward with that, and we'll let you guys know. So we're kind of, we are excited for it.
Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of the youth, it's going to be mainly for a youth tournament. So other than that, that's it. The Halloween, I announced that, and we'll keep you guys posted on the chat.
Thank you.
So it is now 7:23, and I call this meeting, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? Okay, motion by Nadine, second by Ed. Thank you, and have a good evening.